It's a celebration of freedom and family.
Let's love one another.
Black communities across the nation observing Juneteenth today, some already marking the celebration this past week, with parades and lots of food and music.
To still come out here to be in the essence of the culture and stuff is just phenomenal.
To be communal, to celebrating the day.
It's like we celebrate 4th of July, Juneteenth is the same thing as that.
On June 19, 1865, in the waning days of the Civil War, the last enslaved people learned about their freedom when Union soldiers reached Galveston, Texas, announcing the Emancipation Proclamation President Lincoln had signed 2.5 years before. In 2021, then-President Biden made Juneteenth a federal holiday with Opal Lee by his side. The now 98-year-old activist spent decades working to make Juneteenth a national observance.
It is a community and a family type of holiday.
Harvard professor Annette Gordon-Reed wrote the book on Juneteenth. How do you encourage people to celebrate the holiday?
To use it as a day for young people to think about their family history and maybe interview older members of their family and sort of keep the chain together.
With major American companies following the Trump administration's lead and rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, some Juneteenth events this year had to press on without big backers.
But this is a holiday that we can celebrate on our own, and we should continue whether we're sponsored or not.
The organizer of Atlanta's Juneteenth Parade and Music Festival says that hurdle is not a roadblock.
This event stands on freedom. Freedom for everyone, everywhere, all the time.
Now, even with the downsizing that we're seeing, there are still going to be these community picnics and art shows and pageants all over the country today. And we've learned that tonight, Galveston, Texas will host former President Biden at its Juneteenth observance at a local church that played a key role over time in that city's journey from slavery to freedom. Craig?
Aaron Gilchrist there on the reason for the federal holiday. Aaron, thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, the water for tuning in. Welcome back to another lesson. Of course, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and the Holy Spirit. Peace, mercy, and grace to the household of faith, beginning with the elect, 144,000 servants to prophets, as well as the rest of the 1/3 men, women, and children of the elect house of Israel. This lesson, man, I just want to talk about Juneteenth. Juneteenth, where the enemy has federally recognized the official day that so-called black man came out of slavery under, their enemy, their brother Jacob, right? Esau and Jacob is a thing that we constantly, speak on and talk about because that's the theme of the Bible. That's the truth, right? This whole battle on this earth is set against good set against evil, evil set against good. The good, the righteous being the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the wicked being the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, so-called white man. So, first off, in this video, Jake talking about love, celebration of love. And it's always this whole love, love, love thing. I want to speak on that, and then I'm going to make my point. The scriptures describe love as basically keeping the commandments, right? When you get to, you go to Exodus, the 20th chapter. Verse 6 is the point, but I'm going to start at 5. It says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. Woo! And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments." Right. And so from there, because the Lord said to visiting those that hate me. So when you go to John, the 14th chapter, in 15 verses says, "If ye love me, keep my commandments." And this is what the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, said, right? "If you love me, keep my commandments." And this is written in the Gospel according to St. John, which was St. John, the Revelator, not the Baptist. If you also go to 1 1 John chapter 5. If I can find it. Yeah, 1 John chapter 5 and verse 2. And it says, by this, verse 1, whosoever believeth that Yahushua is the Messiah is born of the Most High, and everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. Verse 3, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So the Bible links love and the keeping of the commandments. And the Lord said that he would visit the fathers of them that hate him, which is what? Those that disobeyed, the disobedient amongst us, of our people. And so what the Most High did was he visited our fathers, and we got through into that as well. But he visited us through slavery. Okay, because when you read the curse, that's what he said, what happened to us for disobedience. Which would be likened to like hating him, like he said, those that hate me. So because of our hate and because we all sin, right, the Lord punished us by bringing us on cargo slave ships under these so-called European colonists, which are nothing but the seed of Esau. I'm getting tongue twisted, want to say so many things. They nothing but the seed line of Esau. They brought us here on cargo slave ships to fulfill what? The Most High's word, which this is where most people drop the ball at. They can't link they can't make the connection between the word of the Most High and the things that actually happen on the earth. And they don't want to. And the Most High don't want them to. So this Deuteronomy 28:68, it says, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, right? He shall bring thee into Egypt again. So what happened when he brought Israel into Egypt the first time? He brought them into a place outside of the home of their homeland where they were, or where we were, in captivity, slavery. So he said, basically, I'm going to bring you into slavery again with ships. So this time he said he was going to do it with ships, literally bringing us into slavery. And it says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you should be so. Right. And we didn't see, the main thing we haven't seen again is what? Our home. Okay, our home, our heritage, our inheritance. We haven't seen it anymore since. Even before then, the destruction of the second temple. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold into your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So we will be sold. We will be brought to a land of slavery via ships, and we will be sold. That's where you get auction blocks, the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. So the Lord actually did this. And so what happened was the Most High had it set up to where we would get released someday. Why? Because the Lord is not, his wrath, it doesn't burn for eternity. He's merciful. So the captivity, the slavery was only for a period of time. And then he brought us here to be in a landmass that's close to the rest of the tribes, and then to ultimately fulfill Ezekiel 37, where he would resurrect us in the third day, 3 days and a half. So we were let go in the 1860s to ultimately start resurrecting in the 1960s. And that's where you get Ezekiel 37 and Revelation 11 chapter. Standing on our feet, the dead bodies, in the land that is called spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Why? Because he would bring us into Egypt again. So, yeah, real quick lesson, real short. Just wanted to speak on that. I pray it was edifying. Excuse me, Slaki. On to the next one. Shalom.
Today on CBS Mornings.